Hi everyone, this is Kat. Welcome to my channel. Today's video will be an update to my A6 Stalogy that I currently use to track the NFL football games and my two fantasy football leagues that I am in. In my previous video, I shared my initial plan for my book and how I lay out my football teams and the opposing teams that I was up against. I did make some minor tweaks this week in an effort to make it a little more appealing to the eyes. I don't plan on using a whole lot of washi in this particular book or stickers, but that may change if it inspires me as the weeks progress. So let's go ahead and just dive right in. So this cover is from an Etsy shop called Coffee Break with Bo. The price of this does vary, obviously depending on promotions that she may be having at the time. When I had purchased this, there was a 30% off sale, but I think regular price for this cover is $24. I will go ahead and just open it right up. So we have some Simply Gilded washi. I have a Hobby Lobby vellum paper that I had tipped in. I think I covered all of this in my previous video. I'll just kind of go over the updates. So in this section it was blank last week. This was a cute little die cut that Coffee Break with Bo had sent me with my purchase, so I thought I would add that there. I do have an Instagram account now that I recently started, primarily to find Stalogy inspiring posts and hopefully to inspire others. So you're welcome to follow me if that's something that interests you. You can find me at Catvish Plans on Instagram. So before I go into it again, I just wanted to explain that I will actually be using this book for other non-football related notes. I do have a B6 Stalogy for all my planning and day-to-day needs. This book is really intended for anything that isn't planner related or that I don't need to keep track of the information on a specific date or that's tied to anything timekeeping related. So diving again right into the B6. So I have three different sections for this book. The first section is going to be the NFL schedule. The second section is going to be for my fantasy football teams. And the third section is for everything else. So this is going to be the NFL section. I have a piece of vellum that I had received from Happy Scrappy, and I had used that here. I put this little quote in here that I had found on a football meme. It says, "Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall." I felt that's applicable, right? Because in football, we're falling all the time. Moving on to the next page, I have the American Football Conference teams listed on this page. And then on this next page, I have the National Football Conference, the NFC, listed and all the teams by East, North, South, and West. The next page is the NFL schedule for 2019 through 2020. All right, so the first page is going to be week 1. This is the outcome of last week's football games. We have Thursday, Sunday games, and Monday games. So I've highlighted the teams that have won. I've included the score. This particular game is highlighted in yellow because it was tied. And I put a line around San Francisco 49ers because that is the team of this house that we watch faithfully. And it's kind of cramped. So I decided to try to be more aware of how I listed out the teams. So for week 2, I realized I have more spacing, so I just had some spacing in between the days, the teams. So we had the Buccaneers that played yesterday and they won against the Panthers, so I highlighted that in blue, and then I will do that for the rest of the teams that play on Sunday and then the Monday night game. So that's kind of the update for the NFL schedule spread. I think I'll probably stick to this each week. May use a different pen or color highlighters. I am practicing my lettering to be a little bit more neat. So every week, don't be surprised if you see different handwriting being used. I have a bad habit of writing everything in caps, but then sometimes cursive. It's really weird. Anyway, so diving back into the book. So we have week 3, and then I have these all pre-labeled out until week 13, or excuse me, until week 17. I have wild card, division round, conference championships, and Pro Bowl. And then that concludes the NFL schedule section, of course, the Super Bowl. The next section that I had mentioned is going to be the fantasy football games. Happy Scrappy Vellum that I tipped in again. These are the teams that I have in the two different leagues. So the league on the left is called New York 10, and the league on the right is called A Family Thing, something that we do every year. So I listed out the athletes that I had drafted for quarterbacks, wide receivers, and running backs, defense, kickers, and so forth. On the next page, this was my first week spread. So I highlighted every other player because I was trying to separate the scoring so I knew who scored what in that game, because the line, the grid on this is kind of disappearing with my eyes. So the top is my teams in each of the leagues, and the bottom is who I played up against. So in the New York League I lost, and then in the Family League I won. Reflecting back, I don't particularly like this spread, so I wanted to be a little bit more thoughtful in my week 2 layout. So week 2, it's a little bit cleaner, I think. I started with the layout on the left, and you'll notice that the one on the right looks a little bit cleaner because the pen choices that I used on the left weren't that great. So I used my fail-safe pens on the right. I was trying something different here, didn't like it, so I made the one on the right a little bit prettier. But basically what I want to do is see the scoring side by side. So my quarterback against their quarterback. So I have the position that they play in the center here. And then so we have my quarterback, we have a running back, wide receiver, tight end, the flex spot, defense, and the kickers. So I think in seeing it this way, this is actually very similar to how the NFL fantasy football site has it listed, where you see them kind of side by side to each other. So you can say, okay, I have Aaron Rodgers, and they were against the Niners, and Garoppolo is listed here for the opposing team. And so I can kind of see them side by side, just more from analytics, right? Numbers, and trying to see those comparatively to project whether or not you're going to win that game or not. The reason why my team is listed on the right, on the left side, is because it is a home game for me, and in this league it's an away game for me, so I'm listed on the left. And so I wanted to be very consistent with that, since that's how it shows in the NFL schedule. That's how I'm trying to remember how things are listed out when I see things on TV. I'm always like, with my husband, and I'm like, wait, who's away? Who was home? He's like, oh, and so for me, I'm like, okay, got it. Within the page is away, and the right is home. So yeah, this is the official layout that I think I'll be using consistently every week. Maybe use some washi, maybe use a different color highlighter, maybe color coordinate with some of the teams. I'm not sure, but this is kind of what I'll see how it turns out and get back to you guys. If it's something that interests you and you want an update on, I can do that. And that's basically it. And then I have everything planned out for each week for the fantasy football league. There's actually only 13 weeks, so the NFL schedule has 17 weeks plus the finale games. With fantasy football, it's 13 weeks plus the finale games. So I have already counted out the pages after that, all the way to... So I have this marked here just so that I know this is where I start. I have the freedom to do anything else that's not football related. So everything in the front part of the Stalogy is for a very specific purpose, and everything after that is whatever I need the book to be for me, in addition to football. So brain dump, random notes, daily tasks, goals, trackers, drawings, minor planning, and chicken scratch. I did do a little bit of daily stuff in here. I was like, maybe I will use this on a daily. And I was like, no, I just want to stick to my Stalogy for some of that stuff. So I put an order tracker in here. I'm trying to be a little bit neater with my writing, so I was doing some lettering here. And then I wanted to practice being a little bit more patient, so then I decided to list out all the updates to the iOS release that's happening next week. And that's basically it. So everything else is blank. Looking forward to continuing to use this book through the year and next year. I'm pretty sure it'll last me a while since I'm not in it as frequently as I am the main planner. I'm excited to be able to reflect back in the years to come and say, oh, what was my crazy mind up to then? And so the very last page, I just numbered out how many squares are in the A6 going horizontal and vertically, so I can use that to divide up squares and spacing and whatnot. And then I have a piece of vellum. This is the same one that I have in the front from Hobby Lobby that I ordered online. And so you'll see kind of what the cover looks like. I like the material. It's really nice. It's actually quite, it's nice and soft for sure. You can actually pick out the band as well, the color band that you would like. This was a little charm that I got from a paper clip that I had purchased, and I think I like that better. Alright everyone, well, that's all the information that I wanted to kind of share with you for today. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed the content. Feel free to comment below if you have any questions or if there's anything specifically you would like to see with the Stalogy setup. I'd be honored if you click the subscribe button. I will be chatting with you again soon, and I hope you have a great day or night. Take care. Bye-bye.